You weren't born in Detroit, you were born down in Birmingham?
Even at 15, I was willing and Dylan didn't know what I was doing. You know, I was doing all the variety shows for the school. It was some Italians in Alabama recording me first.
Some Italian guys?
Yeah. It was a lot of lawyers down there who interested in me, and I was bringing them all to the high school. I was just that good. The guys who owned the store, some Italians owned the store on Fifth Avenue, said, hey, well, let me hear you can sing. I said, yeah, I do a little bit. He said, hey, man, now let me hear you sing. I started singing. He said, I got some more guys, we back you up. They was into that raw and B music. And I love music so much. And I'm hearing Smokey Robinson and never did dream by me walking to school every morning seeing Detroit on the ground busted, I'll end up in the middle of these guys. I end up right with Jameson and all those guys. And it's just like they the one who kind of trained me.
So how old were you when you came up here?
I was 18.
You just came by yourself?
Yeah, I'm going. I just love it. It's amazing though.
I can't imagine you had much money in your pocket.
No, I didn't have that much. Meeting all the people like I did because I went to a club. I said, hey, I can sing. He said, yeah, you can. Let me take this guy, just open up a club. The guy didn't even hear me sing. He said, can you sing? He wrote on the note, providing if he can sing, I'll pay him $40 a night.
Which club was that, can you remember?
Sportsman, Broadway Sportsman. So I went in there, and that night I rehearsed with Joe Weaver. Joe Weaver had his band. I turned the house out. The owner kept running around to me. That's my guy, send him a drink. He was so proud that I could, take the house up. He said, man, you can sing. He said, you can sing. Because everybody was complimenting. And then I got that, started making that money. Then a guy there who was a union guy for Ford. So he got me on at Ford Motor Company. So I sing on the weekend and work at Ford. That's how my income came.
What about your brother, Roger? Did he come up after you?
Yeah, he came, just popped up here one day on my door. And Roosevelt, I got a brother play horn too. Roosevelt, he stayed in Toledo. Play sax as good as anybody who can play a sax. And an organ, and guitar. So we was just a musical client family, and my brother took lessons, but I didn't take any.
I guess you were singing in church down?
Yeah, I was doing it in church.
Can you remember how you found Don Davis?
I didn't meet Don right away. It was Richard Street. Yeah, he was singing with the Distance, and he was there. And they asked me could I sing, because my people who I knew I was staying with here, who had moved up here, because those were my friends, so they brought me down. So I auditioned, and they would say, oh, that guy can sing, like that. That's how Don came in, because Miss Coleman said, well, we want to sign him up. So Don came in as a producer. And my first song was complete, perfect song, and I didn't know I could write. I didn't know I could write, like this and that.
You wrote those two first tunes down in Alabama, and then you brought them up and you...
Don did them over. But I went to a company on 2nd Avenue, the Doo-Wop Company. Fortune. They were so sloppy with the records. They said, man, we don't want to go with them. So went back to Don Davis. He took us out to eat on Dexter to this corned beef place. Motown, I talked to Doge and them. They said, we like him, but his record would be top 40. We're dealing with top 10. So I really didn't want to go to Thelma's, but it was the best place to be.
But look what you done for me. She did this, oh, and that, and she broke my heart in two. She did this, that child.
So this and that, you recorded that one, but you didn't hang around at Thelma? Did something go wrong, or did you just...
John and I had a little falling out, but then we kind of made back up, and then he was playing at the
Frolic Show Bar.
And I went by one night, so you got in the song? I said, yeah, I got a song called Searching. He said, let me hear it. So I went out there and sung a little bit of it. And he said, let's go record it. He cut the track. And Steve Manson met me and said, man, you got a nice track. So I went right in the studio and did 2 takes, and that was it.
Where did you cut that one? Do you remember?
I knew that song.
You wrote Searching.
I wrote Searching.
You got Don Davis and Herman Lewis.
Harmon Lewis, which is Harmon Griffin.
Yeah, I thought so. Did that do any good for you in the charts?
Yeah, I did quite some shows around the country. That was it. Promotion wasn't like it should have been. And then on the backside, they gave me that song right on the set, and I did it.
Yeah, good things come to those who wait.
I did it within 20 minutes. Just they ran it down, and I.
Yeah, because I think I already had the track for that, because
Right.
that's
Did
Chuck
that
Jackson.
Too. Right, Chuck Jackson that did it. The same track Chuck was on. That's amazing too. So this little guy come from Alabama and just idolized Chuck Jackson. Here I'm doing one of his tracks.
I think that was about 1967. So you had a few years,
68, yeah.
because it was like 1963, then your next 45.
Yeah, 67, because I think in 69 I went to Excello.
Yeah, I've got the Cotillion record after the Columbia one.
You're right, I went with Atlantic. Yeah, because I started doing my own, I went with Atlantic.
You got Quality, that's written by you, and B. Fentress.
Books of Fentress, husband paid, he asked me, he was a barber. He said, well, I could back that guy. He asked him, do you want me to back him? So he came back to me, did I want me to back me? And I said, yeah. So he backed me on that particular record.
What's her name, Fentress?
Brad was his wife. She played piano. We worked on that song together.
Arranged and produced by you as
Yeah,
well.
I did all. That's my first thing going into production of myself.
Where did you do all
That was
that?
that New London sound. The backside and the album.
Have a Heart Girl.
That was the song A side. But really, Jerry Greenberg heard it first, and he kept playing it. And I thought I kind of had it. He was very rude, but he played it. He kept playing it, and I said, I got him. He likes it. So he went back and brought Henry Allen in there. And Henry said, yeah, I like it. He said, you got a good voice. Said, can you come back about 1 o'clock? I said, yeah. My first trip to New York, Atlantic wasn't even on the list. Walked in the door and got a deal.
Now I seen you, girl, for the guys, and my eyes, they won't lie. They won't lie. I overlook all of that. I could see now was a real true fact. But now you tell me you don't want me no more. Those words hit me bold. My heart is torn cold. Have a heart, girl. Have a heart, girl. Have a heart.
I think this XLO 45 is next, around about 1970. Who's Got a Woman Like Mine?
But they got the wrong mix. And it wasn't a mix that I really liked. And that was a good track.
So this XLO record, that was done at United too?
Yeah, that was on the United too.
You know, because it's obviously a Nashville label, XLO, it's from the South.
Right.
So I didn't know if you'd gone back home to see your
No,
family or something. And
I did. I was going back home, and I went through there and made that deal. From there, I went on to Birmingham.
Yeah.
And the guy, disc jockey, recognized me from Searching. Said, man, I can throw some shows together. So we started having shows. He started plugging it on the radio, playing Searching, and I had some shows down there. Made quite a bit of money just that quick.
and then you just hooked up with XLO and they put it out.
Yeah, they put it out. And they also put out Soul Sonata, too. Right? That out.
It's got the same BMI, Hattress.
Well, that was from Brooks Fentress, and I put Hattress for the publishing beginning, first publishing.
You went down to Cincinnati?
Yeah, now
to
I went
King?
to Cincinnati, then another company down in Nashville, King. Yeah.
Head Over Heels. And Who's Got a Woman Like Mine? Because that was also on XLO, Who's Got a Woman Like Mine. Then it was on the flip of the King record.
Okay.
But the A-side, I guess it's the
Okay.
A-side, it's Head Over Heels.
Right.
But was that at United too?
Yes,
Yeah.
If you don't want my
love any longer. Tell me so. You want my love, baby? I wanna know. You want my love, baby? If you don't think.
Well, I'm ahead over heels. I'm in love with my baby. I'm all shook up. I don't know what's wrong with me lately. I just know when she looks me in my eyes, feel just like I'm in paradise because I'm head over heels.
The next thing I think that one was cut at Pack 3.
Who Am I Without You, Baby?
Those things was cut at Pack 3
And What's Best for Me with Richard Becker.
with Becker. I was in Nashville and they told me, said, "You cut this in the garage?" I said, "What garage?" They knew about Pack 3, that it was a good studio. So I came back and I found Pack 3 and I cut those things.
Has it changed much since 1964?
Took all the 8 crates off, and
Yeah.
it used to be dead. Now it's pretty live. But it's let's see, this was a 4-track when we started this.
Who's we?
Well, I had a couple of engineers working with me, Jim Monroe, Ken Christopher, and Mike McLean from Motown.
What music were you into at that time then, in '64?
All R&B basically. I mean, we followed whatever the trends of Detroit was. You know, so we were doing rock and roll.
Because obviously this is more of a white suburb, isn't it, Dearborn?
Yeah, and that was a problem for my black clients back then. Dearborn
Getting
had
out.
kind of a bad reputation.
Yeah, I know. I remember reading in the newspaper that people were being sort of basically evicted. Any black families that came down here and tried to live here.
It was not a. It wasn't. I had KKK written.
What, you mean people were writing graffiti on the studio?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, they would put their letters all around the studio to threaten me, and so I've been through some scary moments. And there's so many groups I can't even.
No, I know.
I don't even where to begin.
Did you ever go into Detroit and look around the studios there?
I used to engineer at Golden World. Edwin Starr.
Did you know Bob D'Orleans then?
Yeah, oh yeah, and John Reese. They were the house engineers there.
Oh, you had this in '64. You were just doing some what you would call freelance work for Wingate then, or?
Right. I mean, I was working there. Actually, working for Motown, and working for Ford Motor Company, and building this all at the same time in the early '60s. Technically, in audio as a kid, and worked for the sound shops at the time, and that's how, through working for companies like there was Alma Stereo, different stereo shops in the city, they would find me out because I'm working at those stereo shops. So I ended up working at the studio.
After the riots.
We were already very busy before that.
Can you remember any particular clients that you had coming down?
Rudy Robinson, do you remember?
I do, yeah.
Popcorn Wiley, and
Yeah.
Rudy.
I don't know if you got involved with this, but maybe if somebody wanted to use the Golden World studio, do you know how much they would have charged for using
I think they were
Gold?
$45 an hour over there.
And what about United Sound? Do you know what they would charge?
35. Well, we were doing step by step whatever Motown was doing.
Right.
So the room sizes, we did the same thing there as we did here. And sound-wise, it was a tighter sound. It wasn't the big sound, and that's what was in fad. That was the fad then.
So did you cut yours in the garage at that time?
In the garage.
Yeah.
Good sound, man. He had created a good sound. Yeah. I remember recording that because we didn't have the bass player, and the guy said, "Man, we could do it without the bass." And I was hesitant, but they was good musicians because I had Robert White from the Motown Robert
Yeah,
White
the Funk
there.
Brothers, yeah.
And I had Johan on piano. I had a real good drummer. I can't think of his name. And so we went on and did the track without the bass, and I came back in and overdubbed the bass track. I met Ernie Harwell, and he knew the Greenbirds with Scepter, and that's how I got with Scepter. the last record I sung on. Yeah, I started my own company, and then what I wanted to do then just produce other artists. So,
Because you called it Wheelsville Records, and Mike Hanks had a record label.
called that, yeah.
You knew that though, didn't you?
No, I didn't know it at the time. From that, I went on TV to do the record show, The Hop. And on The Hop, I can't think of his name. I told him I was looking for artists, and a lot of ones called, but I gave my number out on the air. But Beverly Duane called me from TV. He said something a lot of artists didn't say. He said, "Come hear us, man." He said, "You'll like what you hear." And so I went over to hear them, and they sang their first song here, the second one on this tape.
Glad I got you,
together.
baby.
We got to stick together.
Yeah, we got to stick
Once I
together.
heard it, I said, "I'm signing you up." I went right on to sign them up. Yeah, it was on Fee. Some of them was on Fee Records, but then they picked up, Ariola picked up the label. I flew out to California. Fee Records was owned by Woody Wilson, Wade Briggs, and Dr. Cox, who owned WJZZ.
Wendell Cox?
Yeah.
Because I thought that was WCHB.
He owned that too. He owned CHB and he owned WJZZ. The only jazz station there.
People hate to see you when you're doing good, oh baby.
Every time you're doing good, they'll try their best to bring you down.
Baby, only strong survive.
Baby, that means you and I
Said we've got to stick together. Said we've got to stick together.
You went to JLB, CHB.
Oh, I knew all the jobs.
A lot of it is about who you know and
Right,
how much you put under the table.
It's who I knew. I got my record played. Who Am I Without You, Baby? All of my had it played. Al Perkins played it one morning. He just played it back to back probably 7 times.
What do you think you paid for the session?
For the Beverly Duane album, I think I had 5 guys. I used to just give them $100 bill a piece.
For how many tracks?
6 songs at that time.
For
I just give
6?
them 100. They didn't say, "Okay, Will." And then the studio was something like $100 an hour, which I probably paid 3 or 4 hours, 100 up there. And then if it'd be a lagging over, I just come back and give them the balance. Like
For those 6 sides, you paid maybe $1,000 out.
with the screens and everything. I think I got the screens from Michigan State. Yeah, I think I paid each one of them. They played on 6 songs. I paid them $125 a piece, which was cheap. It was a cheap production when I got it. But the final 2 records, I finally got the budget because I was with Feedy and they asked me what I needed. And I had the budget where I could just finish up and not have to worry about the clock, get whatever I wanted. And those 2 was I Want to Be With You and Glad I Got You, Baby. Those are relaxing. That New 90 Sounds. I did both of those last 2 songs in New 90 Sounds. Yeah, at night.
Living, all by myself. Living, all by myself. Ooh, darling. Every time my baby's not here, that's the time I have so much fear.